All right. Settle in. There's nothing you need to do right now. Nothing to fix. Nothing to prove. Just listen. I see you here. You didn't click on this by accident. I know that sentence has been said before. But this moment is not generic. This moment is specific. It's specific to you. To the way your body feels right now. To the tiredness you've been carrying longer than you admit. To the thoughts that got louder as the day got quieter. You might be listening late at night. Or early in the morning before the world wakes up. Or in a moment where you finally had a second to breathe. However you arrived here. You arrived honestly. And I want you to know this right at the beginning. I see you. Not the version of you that others see. Not the version you present to get through the day. Not the strong face. Not the polite replies. I see the real you. The one behind the silence. The one behind the effort. The one who has been holding so much together on the inside. You are not overlooked. You are not forgotten. You are not talking into emptiness. I am aware of you. Right now. The quiet weight you carry. You've been tired in a way sleep doesn't fix. You go through your days doing what needs to be done. Handling responsibilities. Meeting expectations. Responding when people need you. From the outside, it might look like you're managing. But inside, there's a weight. A constant pressure in your chest. A background noise of worry you can't fully turn off. A sense that no matter how hard you try, you're still not quite where you're supposed to be. You don't always talk about it. You tell yourself you'll deal with it later. You tell yourself to be grateful. You tell yourself not to complain. So you keep going. But the cost of that quiet strength is exhaustion. And I see that exhaustion. The nights when everything gets louder. Night has a way of pulling the truth to the surface. When distractions fade. When there's no one asking anything of you. When your phone finally goes still. That's when your thoughts start talking. You replay conversations. You question your decisions. You imagine futures that feel uncertain or heavy. Sometimes you lie there thinking, why do I feel so behind? Why does everyone else seem to have it figured out? Why am I trying so hard and still stuck in the same place? You might scroll without really seeing anything. Check for messages you don't expect. Hope for anything that makes you feel less alone. And when nothing comes, you feel that familiar ache. I am there with you in those moments. In the sigh you don't notice you release. In the heaviness that settles when the room goes quiet. In the thought you don't finish out loud because it feels too vulnerable. You are not alone in the dark. Trying hard. Yet feeling stuck. You have been putting in effort. Not always loudly. Not always in ways that get recognized. But consistently. You've been trying to do the right thing. Trying to be responsible. Trying to move forward without losing yourself. And yet, progress feels slow. Sometimes it feels non-existent. That's one of the most painful places to be. Working hard without visible reward. It makes you question yourself. It makes you wonder if you're missing something. If you made a wrong turn somewhere. If you waited too long. If you're simply not enough. I know how discouraging that feels. Especially when you're already tired. The silent stress you don't share. There are worries you keep to yourself. Money worries. Future worries. The quiet calculations you do in your head. You think ahead constantly. Trying to prevent problems before they happen. Trying to make sure everything doesn't fall apart. You might smile and say you're fine. But inside you're asking, what if this doesn't work out? What if I can't keep this up? What if I'm one mistake away from everything changing? Carrying that kind of pressure alone is heavy. And you've been carrying it longer than you should have to. I see that. Feeling misunderstood hurts deeply. There are people in your life who don't really see you. They see your role, your responsibilities, what you provide. But they don't see how much it takes from you. They don't see the effort behind your calm voice. They don't see how often you choose patience when you feel overwhelmed. Sometimes you feel misunderstood, even by the people closest to you. And that hurts more than being alone. Because you don't want attention. You want understanding. You want someone to notice. Without you having to explain. I see that longing too. Being strong for others while breaking inside. You are often the one others rely on. The one who listens. The one who reassures. The one who stays steady when things feel chaotic. But there are moments, quiet moments, where you wish someone would take care of you. Where you wish you didn't have to be the strong one. Where you wish you could rest without guilt. You've held yourself together. Because you felt you had to. But hear this gently. You were never meant to carry everything alone. Strength doesn't mean isolation. And needing support doesn't make you weak. The comparison you try to ignore. You try not to compare. But sometimes it sneaks in anyway. You see people reaching milestones. Finding clarity. Moving forward with confidence. And you ask yourself, why not me? Am I too slow? Did I miss my chance? Comparison doesn't just steal joy. It creates doubt where none needs to exist. Your path does not need to look like anyone else's. To be meaningful. You are not late. You are not off track. You are on your path. Listen to me now. Before I say anything about change, before I talk about strength or hope, I need you to hear this clearly. Nothing you are feeling makes you a disappointment. Not your doubt. Not your fear. Not your exhaustion. I am not frustrated with you. I am not watching you fall behind. I am not waiting for you to get it together. I am with you. In the confusion. In the waiting. In the quiet effort. Even when it feels like nothing is happening. Something is forming. Pause here with me. Take a slow breath. Let your shoulders drop just a little. Let the tension in your jaw soften. You don't need to hold yourself so tightly right now. You are safe to listen. You are safe to feel. You are safe to rest in this moment. This message is not rushing you. And neither am I. You are stronger than you know, ***. Stay here with me. You don't need to brace yourself. You don't need to prepare for hard truths. This is not a moment of correction. This is a moment of understanding. You have been strong in ways no one saw. You've been measuring your strength the wrong way. You look for confidence. You look for certainty. You look for visible progress. But your real strength has shown up in quieter places. It showed up when you kept going on days you wanted to disappear. It showed up when you chose patience instead of anger. It showed up when you didn't let disappointment harden your heart. You survived moments you never talk about. Moments where you felt like giving up would be easier. Moments where you questioned your worth. Moments where you felt so alone that even hope felt far away. And yet, you're here. Not because everything worked out, but because something inside you refused to quit. That matters more than you realize. Surviving is not failure. Somewhere along the way, you started believing that just surviving meant you were falling behind. That if you weren't thriving, you were failing. That if you weren't moving forward visibly, you were wasting time. That belief has been hurting you. Survival is not weakness. Survival is not laziness. Survival is not something to be ashamed of. Survival is strength in its rawest form. There are seasons when growth looks like expansion, and seasons when growth looks like endurance. You are in a season where endurance matters. And you have been enduring with grace. The delay is not a punishment. I know you've wondered why things are taking so long. Why the breakthrough hasn't arrived. Why the clarity hasn't come. Why the effort hasn't paid off yet. It's easy to assume delay means denial. But listen carefully. Delay does not mean you are being ignored. Some things take time because they require depth. If everything had arrived when you first wanted it, you might not have been ready to hold it. You are not being punished. You are being prepared. Prepared to handle more than you could have before. Prepared to recognize what truly matters. Prepared to build something that lasts. You are growing even when it's quiet. Not all growth is loud. Some of the most important changes happen internally. In your perspective. In your boundaries. In your patience. You're not the same person you were a year ago. You think more carefully now. You feel more deeply. You choose differently. That is growth. Even if no one applauds it. Even if it doesn't show up on a timeline. Even if it doesn't look impressive to others. It matters. You were not meant to be like everyone else. Comparison has been stealing your peace. You look at others and think they're ahead. That they're happier. That they figured something out you missed. But you don't see their full story. And you don't need to. Your life is not a race. Your path is not a competition. Some people move fast and burn out. Others move slowly and build resilience. You are building resilience. And that will serve you in ways speed never could. Your sensitivity is a gift. You feel things deeply. That has made life harder at times. You notice subtle changes in tone. You carry emotional weight longer than others. You care even when it hurts. And you may have wished you could be less sensitive, less affected, less emotional. But your sensitivity allows you to connect. It allows you to empathize. It allows you to love in a way that is real. Do not mistake depth for weakness. You were never meant to become numb. Rest is not giving up. You've been afraid to rest. Afraid that if you slow down, everything will fall apart. Afraid that if you stop pushing, you'll lose momentum. Afraid that rest means quitting. But rest is not the opposite of effort. Rest is part of survival. Rest is how you regain clarity. Rest is how you reconnect with yourself. Rest is how you continue without breaking. You are allowed to pause. You are allowed to breathe. You are allowed to be human. I am with you in the uncertainty. You don't need all the answers right now. You don't need a perfect plan. You don't need to know how everything will work out. You only need to know this. You are not walking alone. I am with you in the confusion. I am with you in the waiting. I am with you in the moments where doubt creeps in. Even when you can't see the path clearly. You are being guided. Let this truth settle. You are not behind. You are not failing. You are not forgotten. You are becoming. Slowly. Quietly. Honestly. And I am patient with you. You are held, and you are not alone, asterisk asterisk. I know you're tired. Not just physically. But in the deeper places. Tired of thinking. Tired of hoping carefully. Tired of carrying questions that don't seem to have answers yet. There are moments when you wake up already exhausted. As if you've been running all night without moving anywhere. And still, you get up. Still, you try. Still, you show up in the ways you can. That matters. Even when no one thanks you for it. Even when no one notices. I notice. When the future feels heavy. You think about the future more than you let on. You try to stay present. But your mind keeps drifting forward. What if things don't change? What if I'm always this unsure? What if I never feel settled? Those questions don't come from weakness. They come from caring. You want stability. You want peace. You want a life that feels meaningful, not just busy. And sometimes the fear isn't that things will go wrong. It's that nothing will change at all. That fear can feel paralyzing. But listen to me gently now. You do not have to solve your entire future to be safe tonight. This moment is enough. This breath is enough. This step right where you are is enough. You are allowed to put the weight down. You've been holding yourself together for a long time. Holding your emotions in check. Holding your worries quietly. Holding space for others when no one holds space for you. And because you've done it so well, people assume you're okay. But strength should not require silence. So let me tell you something you may not hear often. You don't have to be strong right now. You don't have to carry everything. You don't have to keep proving that you can handle it. You are allowed to set the weight down. Even if just for this moment. I am holding you here. You were never a burden. Somewhere along the way, you learned to need less. To ask for less. To expect less. Because you didn't want to inconvenience anyone. You didn't want to be too much. You didn't want to add to anyone else's stress. So you learned how to carry your pain quietly. But hear this clearly. You have never been a burden. Not in your sadness. Not in your confusion. Not in your moments of doubt. Your needs do not make you weak. Your emotions do not make you difficult. You are human. And you are worthy of care. Nothing about you is accidental. The way you think. The way you feel deeply. The way you notice things others miss. None of it is random. Even the parts of you that feel inconvenient have a purpose. Your compassion will matter. Your patience will matter. Your lived experience, including the hard parts, will matter. You don't see it fully yet. That doesn't mean it isn't forming. The storm you're in will not last forever. I know it feels like this season has gone on too long. Like you've been waiting for relief. And all you've received is more endurance. But storms do not last forever. Even when clouds block the sky, the light does not disappear. It waits. Quietly. Faithfully. So do I. The answers you're waiting for will come. Not all at once. Not in overwhelming ways. But gently. In ways you can receive. Hope without pressure. I am not asking you to suddenly feel better. I am not asking you to be positive. I am not asking you to believe everything will be perfect. Hope is not denial. Hope is choosing to keep your heart open. Even when you don't have proof yet. Hope is trusting that your story is still being written. Even when the current chapter feels slow. You don't need big faith right now. A quiet willingness to keep going is enough. You are being guided, even now. You may not feel guided. You may feel uncertain. Unsure of your next step. Unsure of yourself. But guidance does not always feel like clarity. Sometimes it feels like restraint. Sometimes it feels like waiting. Sometimes it feels like being held in place. Until the timing is right. You are not lost. Even here. Especially here. You are being led. Let this sink in deeply. I want you to hear this not just in your mind, but in your body. You are safe to rest tonight. You are safe to pause. You are safe to be exactly as you are. Nothing about your struggle disqualifies you from love. Nothing about your doubt pushes me away. I am with you. In the quiet. In the waiting. In the moments you feel unseen. I have always been with you. A gentle blessing for you. As this message comes to a close, I want to leave you with peace, not pressure. May your thoughts soften as the night goes on. May your breathing slow. May your heart feel a little lighter than before. May you wake with enough strength for the day ahead. Not all the strength you'll ever need. Just enough for the next step. And when doubt returns. Because it will, and that's okay. Remember this moment. Remember that you were seen. Remember that you were spoken to. Remember that you were held. You are not alone. You never have been. Now. Rest. I am with you.